Hi, this is Mrs. Malika, and I want to show you how you can create your online resume for 3.04. First, go to the actual lesson itself and read through the task. Before you click on the link for My First Resume, that's just a tool to help you get it started. Make sure that you fill out all the applicable information, that you use the proper spelling and grammar, because once it's finished, you're going to copy and paste it into Komposer to create a new one-page website. And you're going to be focused on making sure that the spacing is consistent, that you have at least one image, that you make use of horizontal lines. You can use one or several. Make sure your bulleted text is appropriate and bold for headings. And we're also going to hyperlink an email address. So there's several things that are done here to help prepare you for creating your snapshots website in a later lesson. Before you pass in your resume, be sure to refer to the assessment that you have met all of those requirements. This video will help you do everything. You're going to click on My First Resume website. It will bring you to a page where you can fill in information. You don't have to check off any of these boxes under interests or responsibilities if you don't want to or they don't apply. Put in your special achievements, jobs you've had in your school. Can you make up information? Sure. It doesn't have to be 100% true. What we're practicing here is proper formatting, but if you want to use factual information, when you're done, you'll have a digital resume. Once you've filled out the information, you click on Get Resume, and it will create the option to download or print an HTML version. Print the HTML version. If your print dialog opens, just cancel it, and then copy this, Control-C, copy, and you're going to paste it into Komposer. So you're going to need to open Komposer. And I'm going to give you a tip. I could just paste it in here, or I could say to myself, you know what, I want it to show up on any screen size on any monitor and be centered in the page with a little bit of a margin on each side. So I'm going to click on Table first and insert a one-cell table. And then I'm going to go to Table Properties, so Table Properties, and I'm going to make this table width 75% of any window. So I say percent of window. I'm going to get rid of the border. Nobody has to know there's a table there. They're just going to see that my resume is centered. And I'm going to align it center. I show you this because you may want to do the same thing for your snapshot site. It centers everything on the page. I click Apply, close, and now I can paste in my information. As you can see, it didn't prompt me for my email address, so I'm going to have to add that. So I click Enter here, and I can say email, and then AllisonMalika@gmail.com. And all I have to do is highlight my email address. I want to make it a hyperlink, and click on the link tool. And then I type in AllisonMalika@gmail.com and say that is going to be an email address, and click OK. I could add to ability and talents now, or I can take it out. That's up to you. But what you want to make sure is now I have this space. You want some spacing in between each section. When I click on Enter and there's something bold, it's going to retain, bullets. It's going to retain bulleting, so I can go ahead now and remove that bullet. So I have a space here, a space here. I have an empty table here because I didn't put in a second job, so I can click on it and click on Now, Table, Delete Table, because this is actually a table within a table. And then backspace, and I've got good spacing, it looks like. If you want to apply background colors here, you can. That's up to you. Now what it also asked me to do is put in a horizontal line, so I can do that as well. I can click on Insert Horizontal Line. And if you have a lot of sections that have a lot of information, you could put a horizontal line between everything. And finally, it's asking me for my image. What am I going to put for a graphic image? So I'm going to play around a little bit with some formatting here. So instead of having everything centered at the top in my heading, I am going to align it left, and with my cursor blinking to the left of my name, I'm going to insert an image. Keep in mind that the image needs to be placed in your resume folder, in the images folder, before you do this. I have placed an image there, so I'm going to click on choose file, and I go to my resume folder to images, and I grab that. I need to make sure that the URL is relative to page location, and this isn't allowing for that. So I'm going to click on Advanced Edit and click OK. And I just realized the reason why it's not allowing me to do that is because I haven't saved my page yet. So rather than recreate this video, just know that once you open your page and you've got everything in, before you start with images, go ahead and save your page. So that's naming and defining your site. So I do File, Save As, and it says, what do you want to name this page? Now this is the page of the page, how it would be searchable on the net. I'm going to call this Resume for Allison Malika. That's the title. The file name is just going to be Resume, R-E-S-U-M-E, all lowercase. And I'm going to put that in my Resume HTML folder and click on Save. I've already tried this once, so I'm going to just replace the one I did. Now when I go to click on Insert Image, I can navigate to the folder, the Images folder, grab it, and URL is relative to page location is now checked. This is very important because if you don't check this box, when you zip your files and you send them to your web server or you deliver them to your teacher, the image will not display. So make sure this is checked. Also, make sure you always use alt text. So I'm going to say image of Allison. This way, if the image doesn't display, the alt text will. If someone is blind or has the images disabled, they may have something that reads the text to them. So it's very useful for a variety of reasons. Click OK, and there's my image. I want my image to be aligned left, so I can double click on it and go into Appearance, and I could say I want to align the text to the image. I want to wrap the text to the right, and I want some padding in between my image and my text. So I'm going to say 20 pixels. Then I actually have to click OK to see what it looks like. And it worked out pretty good, but I could either need to resize my image or add another line space to get this position sought. So I'm going to try the resize, and that seems to work pretty good, but still my horizontal line is not where I want it. So I'm going to hit Enter. Ooh, I think that works for me. If you're satisfied with the way things look, you can go ahead and view it on the web. So update your save, and then go to your resume folder, which I will grab this way. Oh, that's my zipped folder. There it is. Sorry. And how does it look? This is fine. This meets the requirements for the assignment, except I don't have a sans serif font. So I have to go back and change my entire fonts throughout to Helvetica Arial, because remember, you don't want a serif font for digital reading. When you put stuff out on the web, you want to make sure it's sans serif. So I'm going to take away the bold there now because it doesn't look right. And I'm pretty happy with this, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it again on the web to see if I like it. So I update my save, go back down, and all I have to do now is refresh. So I've met all the requirements. I have a resume, I have the use of bold, I have a horizontal line, I have a hyperlink, and an image. So now I need to pass it in. How do I do that? I go to my resume folder, I right-click on it, I choose Send to Compress Zip Folder. If you're on a Mac, you have to compress it the Mac way. And it will create a zipped folder, and that's what you pass in, because if it's going to a web server or it's going to your teacher, the whole folder needs to be pushed out somewhere, because when I open your HTML file, it's going to look for your image in your images folder, which is here. So you need to pass in the whole resume folder. If you have any questions or need any assistance, please get in touch with me.